Is caffeine actually bad for kids? Should we be locking up energy drink cans just like we do with alcohol in the home? There's nothing inherently wrong with caffeine, whether it's for kids or not. But just like with most things in nutrition, it's all about the dose. Now in Australia, adults are recommended to have no more than 400 milligrams of caffeine per day and no more than 200 milligrams of caffeine in any one go. Now with kids, it's recommended based on a weight scenario. So if you've got a kid that weighs 40 kilos, not meant to have any more than 3 milligrams of caffeine per kilo, therefore they should only have 120 milligrams. Now the problem is, some of the cans of energy drink may have 160, 180 milligrams in them, and for an adult, they can have maybe 2 of those and be fine. But a kid goes and grabs the same one off the shelf, and guess what? It doesn't even take one full can of these to exceed their daily recommended limit. And we know that it can cause things like anxiety, stomach upset, disrupt sleep. And we know, especially when neurodivergent kids, sleep's already such a tough issue. So we don't really want to be messing that up too much anyway. And just in general, we know that sleep's really important for brain development. The other thing is that we tend to focus on caffeine just being in things like coffee and tea, but we don't always think about that it comes in things like chocolate. Your kid may be having a chocolate bar, maybe having hot chocolate at night time, but earlier in the day they've already had an energy drink, and guess what? They really peaked over their limits, and it didn't take too much at all. Now, the other thing I would say about this is how we normalise things in the home. Think about alcohol, for example. So many of us will come home from work stressed, tired. What's the first thing we do to relax? Grab a beer or a wine out of the fridge. Kids sees that, normalise that, are more likely to do that as they get older. We know that's how it works. Same with these sorts of things. If they see mum and dad getting up and either pounding the coffees or pounding the energy drinks, having multiple, guess what they're going to do? They're not going to think about the limits or the dosages, they're just going to think about the actual servings. So my advice around all this, regardless of whether you like your kids having energy drinks, coffee, whatever it is educating them around this. What we want to do as parents is make sure that they're making informed choices for their health, and they're not going to be really hurting themselves long term by just blindly copying us, basically.